Good? I don't know. Talking it.
Test.
All right, we should be good. They say monsters don't exist. Sounds like Levi, but what if I told you they walk among us in plain sight? Imagine the chill creeping down your spine when you're alone. The unsettling sensation of eyes boring into you from the shadows. Yet, when you turn, nobody is there. Picture yourself in a crowded grocery store, heart racing, as an inexplicable dread clings to you like a dark, dark cloud. Monsters are real. Tonight. This is American Whiskey, and every Friday we get together for Sip and Solve, where we dive into the bone-chilling tales that remind us of darkness lurks just beneath the surface. Okay, that was odd. All right, so I was that you, Dilly?
No.
Okay, all right, we'll get there.
This happened the other day, Sturg.
It did. Okay. So welcome to American Whiskey. As always, I'm Big Sturg. And I'm in the producer desk just because I said I wanted to be. So we're trying to do what, different camera angles, because we've had a couple complaints that you couldn't see my face great. So now you can. But Justice League's in studio. The producer, also known as Levi.
What's up?
You can talk into the mic next time.
I know
It'd be helpful. I mean, I was saying, like, if you want to talk in the fucking mic and stop acting like a, whatever you want to call it. But guys, we're super excited to be here tonight. It's a late episode. I guess we're trying to go spooky here, but we don't know exactly what's going to happen tonight. So we're going to do our thing.
Sturge, I can tell you exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah, I know.
We freaking started talking about Annabelle the other day, and then all of a sudden, freaking an Annabelle news clip from it was from Lorraine Warren started playing.
But before we go there,
it's
right?
fucking crazy. It just happened again.
We always talk about what we're sipping on, and we have a commercial to play for you guys for some great people that make great wine. But Dilly, you set this off.
So I'm starting off with some Burnout Winery Childcare, some Spice Apple, and I'm also drinking a Busch Light Apple.
Levi's sipping on water.
The highest quality of H2O.
Out of Northridge water. It's got the what it's got the stuff for your teeth. What's that called? Fluoride? It's got fluoride in it. Yeah, you can get your teeth white with it.
Hydrochloride, are we knocking them out?
I guess. I'm sipping on Coors Light. I'm not mad about it. I like it. But before we get started, we're going to do our Burned Out Winery commercial. If you're looking for a unique wine experience, check out Burned Out Winery. Founded by a team of siblings who turned their passion for winemaking into a thriving business. They focus on crafting exceptional small batch wines, from Moscato to tart cherry and spiced apple to their delightful sangrias. There's something for everyone. Each bottle tells a story, complete with a creative name that reflects their journey. Their wines are not only fantastic, but they're also affordable, making them a great choice for any occasion. You can easily order online at burnedoutwinery.com or connect with them on Facebook. They deliver. Whether you're local or out of state, they'll ship right to your front door. Support this hardworking team and savor the taste of Burned Out Winery. This is Big Sturg with American Whiskey. So if you like wine, this is the company that you want to get your wine from. A lot of people that listen to this podcast have had it. It's something you want to get. They deliver to your house. They'll ship it to you no matter where you're at in the United States. We just so happen to be family with them. We can get it whenever, and you can get it whenever. So
And I love it.
this is a different episode because we weren't prepared for it. But if you guys listened to the last episode, you didn't hear what happened prior to that. We were talking about like the Annabelle doll, and like a bunch of weird shit started happening in the studio. So we, of course, began talking about, like spooky shit.
Yeah, but so Shay just commented, and I'm not trying to cut you off, Sturge, but he said gonna need to throw some holy water around to clear the evil out. And I think we might need to. Like, Shay, you don't even understand. And Sturge is about to hit on the weird stuff that's happened since I brought up the Annabelle doll to him.
Well, it was odd because I had never heard of it. So I said, like, I didn't believe in it. And we were trying to go live. Was it last Tuesday?
Yeah, it was last Tuesday. And the reason why it got brought up is I was sitting at home and I saw news clips, which I had seen before, where their names are Ed and Lorraine Warren, that have the Annabelle doll at their house. Well, they're since gone and passed now.
But it was at their house.
It's still at the house, but other people are taking care of it now. So Ed and Lorraine Warren are the ones that fostered this and I would say secured.
Yeah, I mean, it was
the evil.
Yeah. They put it in like a glass case, and it was blessed by two priests
monthly or twice a month, right?
Yes, I believe so.
There's scriptures behind the doll. There's
the
locks.
case.
Like it's a whole 9-yard type of situation. But they had their home open for people to come and visit. Well, they had so many people coming that zoning regulations and everything, the city's like, no, you can't do this.
Right.
Well, it's a huge moneymaker, of course. So they decided to say, we're going to make the Annabelle doll go on tour, basically. Well, their first stop was New Orleans. Well, the oldest plantation in the United States all of a sudden caught fire when Annabelle was in New Orleans. And that the oldest plantation is down there.
Now, didn't you go to you lived in New Orleans for a while? I did,
correct? And nothing like this ever happened. The same time frame, 11 inmates escaped from jail. Is it a coincidence? Maybe. I mean, maybe not.
They were let out of jail.
Well, tomatoes.
So my thought process is this. And listen, we've had a lot of good episodes talking about like jerking off and talking about weird stuff, but this is even weirder to me, right? Like I've never been, much of like a ghost believer because I wasn't sure, like, because I believe in God and I believe in Jesus and I believe in all these things. I didn't know if it was wrong. I've had weird things happen in my life, but I've never like accepted the fact that it's possible. And so I started doing a lot of research this week, and I realized that,
Sturge, before you get to your research,
go for it.
What happened when I was telling you about you and Steph about what happened in New Orleans when we went live?
So it was weird. So so we had like weird, creepy shit coming through. Like, was it music? It was like, it was just
it was a interview
About Annabelle the doll.
It was Lorraine Warren, actually.
Yeah, and it was weird because like the only way that shit can go through this, like that you can hear us, is through this board. So whether we have somebody from Europe on our podcast, you can't hear them unless I allow you to hear them. So we started hearing some weird shit, and I thought they were fucking with me, man. I was like, I didn't know if it was Vince or you know, whoever it was. So I muted everything on the board, and it just kept coming through.
He blamed me.
And then I look over there. He shut everything down on his computer. Nothing was coming through the board, but it just went on for like multiple minutes before we went live.
How's it going, big boy?
It was just fucking weird. So my question for everyone tonight, as we conversate over this, first off, what are you guys sipping on? But put it down in the chat below. What are you guys sipping on? But fuck, dude. Like, I want to know, do you guys believe in ghosts? Do you believe anything outside of this world? Is it supernatural? Is it demons? Is it ghosts? And I want to share some of these stories that we've had personally. I won't go first. One of you fellas want to go. Do you guys have any like?
I will elaborate on that question a little bit more. But let me answer big boy here first. We do a lot of different podcasts. But Fridays is normally Sip and Solve. Well, tonight we are talking about Annabelle doll.
I mean, we're talking about Annabelle doll, but we're talking about ghost stories.
Yes. Pretty much tonight's ghost stories and stuff like that. I said I wanted to elaborate on that question a little more. I guess the best way I want to put it is, do you think it's real? Or do you think it's a hoax?
Ghosts in general or just Annabelle?
Just in general.
I feel, Levi, what do you think?
There's no doubt that it's real. There's just no way.
Well, you have to elaborate on why you think
Annabelle.
that.
You say the Annabelle doll, like the shit that we've talked about. You believe that doll is a legitimate thing?
Yeah.
Why? No, this motherfucker.
You can't I don't. Oh, man. This is a weird spot. Okay, I'm usually over there, and
it doesn't matter where you're sitting. What do you think?
Get your head out of your
penis
hole, dude. Talk about it.
I
Listen,
mean,
have you ever had okay? Go ahead.
What? Go ahead.
Have you ever had anything supernatural happen to you?
So there was this one time that supposedly my buddy's sister had like a ghost in her room. I'm gonna do this because I don't know how true it is. No, that doll's not fake, Amanda. No.
Okay, but explain.
Going.
Keep going, dude.
Dude, I'm all over the damn place. I'm sorry. Anyway, so
he's reading comments right now.
So
quit reading. Answer the question. No, answer the question.
Shut the fuck up, Levi, and just concentrate. Okay, so like for example, one time when I was a kid, not like a teenager, my sister and I were at our house, and it was me, my sister, my brother, and we're sitting in the living room. And my sister wakes up, she goes out to the kitchen, and she comes in and she's like crying. She's like, all the cabinets, my parents are gone. She's like, all the cabinets are open. And we're like, are you sleepwalking? Right? So we go in the kitchen, they're all open. We shut them. We go back into the living room. We're watching a movie, and we heard something in the kitchen. It's just the three of us at the house. We go into the kitchen because we heard something, and every single one of the cabinets are open. And we're like, what the fuck? We searched the house. All the doors are locked. We have I have no explanation of what happened. Like, I don't know. There's no way anybody other than the three of us are in this house. But how'd the cabinets get open for a second time, right? We thought my sister was sleepwalking, opened them up, whatever. Do you see what I'm saying? So like that's like it's something that you can't explain.
Right.
And my brother's like, something had to happen. Okay. What? what fucking happened, right? So was it a ghost? Was it a demon? Was it like my dad's like, oh, you can't overthink that. I'm trying not to overthink that, but what's the explanation behind that, right?
Right.
Like, do you guys have anything that you've ever had happen in your life where it's super unexplained, you ignored it?
Well, so Sturge, I've told you the story of my house.
Yeah.
So, I'll get a little personal, and you've heard this story before. So my brother passed away in my house. And there are times where I have a camera in my living room, and there are some times that I'll pull up the camera just to see what Maya's doing or something tonight if she's not laying in bed. Just make sure she's all right. And there will be a weird glow in the very corner of the room. And it's not every night. I've already ruled out lights and stuff from outside through blinds. And just randomly, there will be a light in the same exact spot. Is that an omen? Like, is that a sign? You don't know.
I think Amanda just said, y'all, it's in the Bible. Anything unexplained on the earth is demonic. What scripture is that? Because I know the Bible doesn't like specifically mention or affirm that like ghosts are a thing or if they're real. But I do know there's a lot of people that study the Bible that, you know, they believe, you know, like you can take a scripture of the Bible and turn it to any. We see that in denominations, right? There's different denominations. They take scripture, but I think like there's a story of Saul and like, was it the Witch of
Blair?
Endor? I believe it was. But that kind of interprets the fact that there were like spirits involved, which I would think kind of indicates that there's maybe like an afterlife. Well, I think Catholics call it purgatory.
Yes.
Like a purgatory, like you don't go to heaven, you don't go to hell, but you're kind of stuck in between.
You're in the in between.
So like I sometimes wonder if there's a little truth to everything, right? If is you know, when you die, do you go to heaven, do you go to hell? But you talk about, you know, Revelations, it talks about heaven's being created, heaven's being, you know, for when a second coming comes. So like what happens to people before that? But like I've had experiences where like in my old house growing up where like you legitimately see something that's not there. Like, and your mom and dad are like, oh, it's nothing, but it was something. What was it? Was it, you know?
And big boy, I'll answer your question here. I don't know if these two believe 100% Annabelle. I said it last week, and Sturge can attest to this. Do I believe in ghosts and spirits and stuff? Yes. At the same time, I think Annabelle could be a hoax. There are too many questions around it. There are a lot of stories and everything showing that people have died in strange ways after being in contact with the doll, or things have happened of that nature. But at the same time, and I said this last week as well, give me the doll, let me burn it, and we'll see what happens.
Here's something interesting. So my wife, she's from well, I guess like part of her family's from Kentucky. You know, her mom, and you guys know Ann, she's upstairs. Like I believe it was Ann, my mother-in-law's brother-in-law passes away, and they're all inside of the living room trying to sleep, you know, it's something that you get together, right? Because of death in the family. And a light, I believe it was a light, turns on. Nobody touches this lamp. It just turns on.
Right.
Then it turns off, and then it turns back on. And it's like, what turns that on? My question is it the soul of the deceased? Is it the ghost of the deceased? Or is it a demon portraying that person, right? Because if you look in the Bible, a demon they're evil, right? They can betray anything. They know more about the Bible than you do. They know everything.
Right.
And so it's like, is that light that you see, Dylan, in your living room, or is that your brother, or is that something that's not right? Do you understand what I mean?
So I agree with what you just said. But me personally, I feel like if it was something not okay, one, I would have got an eerie feeling, or two,
Or does it know that you're like, does that, I don't know. Like, does that do they know that you're
aware.
trying to be comfortable and you're trying to be, aware of the situation, so they manipulate the situation that you're in? I mean,
well,
right?
Amanda just pretty much commented exactly what you're saying. She said they come when you're the most vulnerable. And Sturg, you know more than anyone of when I've been the most vulnerable, and I've never felt at an uncomfort feeling from anything in my house.
I agree, and you think about that, right? And it's like, that should be very uncomfortable.
I mean, it's
right.
Like at first, like the first few times I saw it, I was like, "What the fuck is that?"
Yeah,
and I was just like,
the dude's got camera. First off, I've seen it. He showed me this motherfucker's got cameras in every angle. Don't piss in his house.
Well,
I promise you that.
First off, the only reason why I have cameras in my house is I've had someone try to break in my house.
Because he's a creep.
And
creeper.
If someone breaks in my house, one, you're gonna get a gun drawn on you if I'm home.
Well, I shoot, but whatever.
Two, if you steal my shit when I'm not home, I'm getting you on camera.
Hey, Levi, let's test it.
We should.
Good luck, bitches.
Let's go, motherfucker. I'm all in.
Which door are you going in?
It doesn't matter. I'm not going to tell you that. I'm breaking in.
Good thing I have Ring cameras as well.
Go to the window.
What did Amanda just say? I believe that's how okay. So Amanda said they come when you're most vulnerable. So here's my question: me, my brother, my sister are at home, right, minding our own business. How are we vulnerable at that point? Does some demon show up and they're like, "Fuck it, I'm going to open up these cabinets"? Nothing ever else happened, right? Like nothing else ever happened. Where's the vulnerability there? Some say hauntings are just memories of a house. That's a residual haunt. So like there's residual haunts. Like something happens so many times. I was watching Ghost Adventures with my son. Some may judge me. He's 9. I don't care. We watch it. And we learned that like this guy would come home every day, do what he needs around the farm, and then he would go in the house and he would go get a bourbon and he would drink until he goes to sleep. Every day he would take the same path. All right, every single day. Does he put a mark in history to where he walks that same path every day? I mean, it's like, it's not, what do you call like a haunt where they come in there and they can do what they please? But this was a residual haunt. They literally got this on film where it's the same thing at the same time of day, every day, where they're getting all an is it EFM?
Yeah, or EMF.
EMF reader. They've actually got footage of a cloud. I call it a cloud, but like something that looks like a human walking the same path. They can never communicate with it. They can never do anything to change its path. No matter what, it looks like he's walking through a door, walking through his dining room, grabbing a drink, and he comes back. But what's interesting, like, what door is he walking through? Well, if you looked at the original architecture, whatever, I'm an idiot, so people at work will tell you I'm not the smartest. But
no, you're right, architecture.
So it used to have 2 front doors. A lot of them in this area used to have 2 front doors. Well, if you look at this, the blueprints of this, if it's residual, they don't know that door's not there.
They're used to always being there.
They're used to always being there. So that thing continues to happen. No matter what you do, it continues to happen. Now there's other kind of haunts that they say like it literally can walk into your kitchen and open up cabinet doors, but it's never happened, right? Outside of that one time. So it's not residual. It's not something that always happens. So is that a demon coming in there? Were we vulnerable? I don't think we were. I think we were high on some pot or so. I don't know. Like, we were drink. I don't think it's necessarily vulnerability that caused that night.
Right.
Like, you talk about vulnerability, you're opening yourself up to something. Would that be like a Ouija board? Would that be summoning the dead? That would make you vulnerable to something. Does that make sense?
Well, Sturg, so that kind of ties into the whole Annabelle story. So back in 1970 is when the Annabelle story really came into fruition. There was a nursing student that was gifted the doll. The doll was actually bought, correct me if I'm wrong, anybody, I think from like a thrift store, secondhand store.
I believe so.
Mm-hmm.
And it was something that the nurse had been looking for a while. Some strange things started happening to, I believe it was a nurse and her fiance and a roommate. Like weird positions. The doll would be sitting in the room. Did you turn your camera off? Oh, you're good. The doll would be sitting in the room, and then next time they'd go in there, it'd be sitting in a different position. It started off small, stuff like that. And then next thing you know was they would hear thumps as in someone was breaking into the house. And the story we read was the fiance was sent up to look after they heard what they thought was someone breaking in the house. And he went in the room, saw the doll was off of the chair that they normally sat it in, and he ran out. He didn't just run out unscathed. He was screaming bloody murder, and his chest was ripped to pieces.
Yeah. Like visible.
The next
marks.
day, they said the wounds had already healed, but the blood was still all over his clothes. And is that something unbelievable if it's a paranormal activity? Or is that something that is made up?
It's so unexplained, right? Like, no matter what you say, or like you can have the most evidence in your mind, right? And this guy you said the fiance, did he make this up or was it real? That's the question. Because there's nobody else there. Nobody can.
It's
right?
not even just him making it up. His fiance and the roommate saw the blood.
Yeah.
They saw everything. But the next day, there was no wounds.
Yeah. I think Big Boy Cheesy been on here before?
I don't believe so.
So he just put on here, interesting you mentioned the weed. I do think it's very compelling argument from both personal and family experiences. I hear a lot about weed being some sort of way to enter a different state of mind, not possible without the effects of THC. Very interesting, very intriguing. But here's the interesting thing. You look at like Indians, like back in the day, how many gods did they have? They had like the god of wind.
Like they're peyote.
Yeah, so they're doing peyote. Are they making these gods because they're high, or does it open up their minds? That's something that.
Well, like
I find that
like
very
you just said, like Native Americans, what did they call that when they would do peyote? Like a spirit adventure?
Yeah, like they'd get around a bonfire or campfire and sing.
And they would go on a multi-day spirit adventure on high on peyote.
But does that open your mind? Is it, you know what I'm saying? Does it open your mind to the other side of things, or does it create the other side of things?
Well, if you look at the scientific part of it, they say we use what percentage of our brain is
small.
It's very small.
I mean, Levi's, you know,
it's even smaller, but
Minimum.
does these kind of drugs like peyote open up your mind to expand what actually could do?
I think there's a lot of like, I showed you guys when I ran that machine at Thomas Tape. Right. I showed you those pictures. I always listen to like podcasts and stuff on my phone when I'd run this machine. This machine was like it was the original machine, and it was over 100 years old. It was ran off of steam. And I showed you the picture of like my phone just somehow or another took a picture of me.
And it looked like an out of body experience.
Yeah. It was like, you could see through me. And maybe there's something about the way the picture was taken, but how'd the phone take the picture?
Right.
How did my iPhone take the picture of me walking while, like, I would always set it up in a certain spot, listen to my podcast, my music, but somehow it took that photo. And I showed you guys a bunch of other pictures of just some weird shit. Like, it's unexplained. It doesn't make sense. So do you write it off? Do we write it off and make fun of each other for believing that it was something? Or was it something? Is there an explanation, or is there just really fucking not? Because I wasn't on drugs. I wasn't setting anything up, but I cannot personally prove, I can't prove that I set my phone there to listen to a podcast, right?
Right.
So you now have to believe
right
that I set it up there every single day for 10 hours a day. And that so happened to take a perfect picture of me walking by the machine. You could see through me. So am I making that up? Or did that really happen? Now,
well, Sturg, you can tie that in with Annabelle as well, because there have been 2 separate occasions that is factual with police reports where one person touched the doll. And then one person was mocking the doll, separate occasions, and both ended with them getting in a very horrific crash that ended in fatalities.
Right.
Explain.
Talk about those. Talk about those.
I mean, just like I said, one was a guy and his girlfriend. They went to the Warren's house. And the guy he thought it was a joke and everything. So he ran up, grabbed the doll, and was like, "Oh, are you going to hurt me? You going to hurt me? What are you going to do?" Well, on the way home, the story is there was a figure in the back seat. They went off the road, crashed into some trees, and both of them died.
Yeah.
And you can look that up. There's a police report and everything on it. There was 100% a wreck. They were at the Warren's house that night, and they both died.
Right.
I don't know factual. The second one, I believe it was he was mocking the doll and everything, and he got on his motorcycle. I don't know if he died, but he got in a horrific accident as well.
Yeah.
Same night.
Right.
Leaving the Warren's house. How do you explain that?
So are you 100% with this doll? Do you believe it? I mean, they make movies about it, right? But you can make movies about anything.
Do I believe in there's life after death? Yes.
No, I'm not asking that. Do you believe that this doll is haunted? Demonic?
I would say I'm 50-50. But I will say, if given the chance, I would test the theory.
So you would grab the doll, shake it around, say you're my bitch.
Try me.
So you would?
I would.
Let's take a trip.
Well, they can't do tours or they can't do in-house things anymore.
So how can anybody test this theory then?
Well, they tried to put it on display by doing this tour, and that went very south for them.
You think so?
How do you explain the oldest plantation in the United States catching fire the same day the dog gets in town, the fire department putting the fire out, and let's be real, fire departments don't just stay to put the fire out, they stay to make sure there's no embers and everything.
Investigate.
They investigate, the fire marshal comes out, sees what happened. How did it catch on fire a second time to burn it down completely?
Did the doll light it?
That's the theory.
The doll just escaped randomly walking down the street and lit the fire?
It didn't escape just walking down the street. But the omen is it was out and about for the first time in how long? 50 years?
Shay said you could go to a cemetery and taunt the shadow figures if they didn't close cemeteries at night.
Yeah, fuck
We
those
could do it.
cemeteries.
Go to jail.
I'll piss on a grave.
No, you won't. That's fucked up.
If it's Annabelle's, I will.
That's fucked up.
Fuck Annabelle.
I don't think you really would.
She's a bitch.
Don't. So you're striking you're saying it's not real then?
I'm saying
No, you are. You're saying that it's
I'm
not
saying
real.
if I was ever in close proximity, I would light that doll on fire and say, "Come at me, bitch."
I'm not saying that, so don't haunt my house, Annabelle. Levi,
You guys can
Nope.
document what happens to me after. First
Have
off,
you-
big boy, I've done plenty of Ouija
I've done
boards.
Ouija board twice in my life, and
they
both
terrified the
of-
fuck out of me.
It was weird. I'll be honest, it was weird. I did it with a girlfriend in high school, and we didn't know if people were like moving the thing in the middle of the board, and I think it was my girlfriend that was like tried to summons her grandma, and when she did it, it spelled out like candy corn, and she's like starts crying. I was like, why are you crying? Why are you acting like this? She's like, candy corn, like before she died, like that was my favorite snack. And none of us knew that.
Damn.
But you can't prove the fact that that was truly her favorite snack.
And
You
Shay,
can't prove that.
Shay, I get what you're saying there. You wouldn't poke the bear. But I'm the kind of person, unless I can see it or it happens to me, I don't believe it.
We can go to cemetery tonight. I know one that's not gated. And it'll take us.
I know plenty of cemeteries that get their fences knocked down all the time.
Yeah, that's some shit. This is fucked up. So, like, if you're not from this town, we're in Springfield. There's literally a cemetery here in town. Like,
Ferncliff fence, right?
it's Ferncliff fence. It's the Ferncliff Cemetery. Every week, somebody, I don't know how much money have they put into this fucking fence.
Sturg, you and I have drove by there how many times together, and we're like, how the fuck does someone hit this shit?
And it's like it's never ending. Like they'll fix it, and the very next day somebody drives right through it. Now everyone's like, "Well, it's the curve." You know how many curves I've been by and through
That's
that
not
have
that
never
bad
had-
of a
it's
curve.
not.
At all.
It's so fucked
Not
up.
bad.
So is it because of the draw of the cemetery? Like, I don't know what creates this issue of hitting this fence. There's like it's off the road.
Like, guys, there's
Think
a
about the
Facebook
drivers.
page about the Ferncliff fence.
Like it's fucking real. It's a thing. Like I don't know what causes that, but like you can't tell me every person that's driven that curve is drunk.
No, not at all.
How do you drive off the road and into that fence? Even drinking
Over
and
the
driving.
curb.
Over the curb, over the sidewalk,
Like
and through the fence.
it's a
They
pretty.
drive through the fence.
It's a pretty good distance from the curb to the fence.
I call bullshit on it, dude. I think Springfield's like just knocking this motherfucker down because I don't feel like they ever catch the person that does it.
I think it's multiple people. I don't think it's a reoccurring offender.
It's not.
No, it's always something different for sure. I don't know. How do you explain that? Like, should we go drive by it?
Like,
tonight?
I feel like we need to take a sledgehammer there every once in a while, just beat holes into it and dents, just to make them think someone hit it again.
We don't have to. They do it
I
every
know
week.
We don't have to, but it just.
I don't know if I've ever passed it and it not be knocked down in the spot.
I agree.
I don't know that I ever have. Like, and how many places in this town in the back roads there's winding roads and never a wreck there? Like, there's
Right.
like, I don't understand. Now, there is a creepy cemetery in South Vienna, I think it is. It's off of Old Columbus Road. It's very old. When we were in high school, they used to say it was haunted. I've never been there, but I've passed it a million times. We actually passed it on the way to work, Dylan. And I think it would be interesting to go out there and not piss on a grave. I think that's a little much. But possibly be like turn on our cameras and just like see if we can catch something.
I'll lay down and sleep there.
I'll take you tonight.
I'll go to bed there.
No, you wouldn't.
I don't give a fuck.
You're gonna sleep there tonight.
Sure.
I'm gonna take you there with a pillow and a sleeping bag. You're gonna sleep there tonight.
Okay.
Levi?
I'm not doing it.
Yeah, but we can drop them off.
We could definitely drop them
We
off.
can absolutely drop them off.
But so, Sturg, you talked about a story about the cabinets and everything.
Yeah.
So this is why I do believe in ghosts and everything. So obviously there's a million of them. A lot of towns have something called Crybaby Bridge.
Yeah.
So where I'm from, Washington Courthouse, there's a bridge there called Crybaby Bridge. There's also right down the road from there, there's this old burned down building that had been there for freaking I'm 32 and it was there as long as I can remember. So we went out there one night just to fuck around like you used to do when you were teenagers. We went to Crybaby Bridge, tested that theory, nothing happened. We went to this burned down place, went inside, was walking around, just checking things out. Kind of creepy because there's a burned down house, right? Inside the house, there was like kids' toys that were untouched by flames or embers or anything like that. So that kind of creeped us out. So we went to leave. We're driving home. And next thing we know, there's a golden retriever in the middle of the road. So we stop. Dog wouldn't move for anything. Finally, the dog runs, takes off into this farmhouse. So we start driving again. There's ditches on both sides of the road, probably like 3 to 4 feet deep. Obviously, nothing's going to come running across that. Out of nowhere, a fucking dude on a bike goes flying across the street from one side of the ditch to the other. My buddy locked up his brakes, fucking goes sideways, and he just stops and stares at me. And I was like, dude, did you see that? He's like, why the fuck did you think I hit the brakes? So
Yeah, you see, yeah, as a man on a bike
so he's like, all right,
Scared
we're getting the
about
fuck out of here. Like, it was weird as fuck.
So what were you thinking? Like, I saw a golden retriever and then I saw a guy on a bike, so I was scared.
I was scared about the guy on the bike.
What about the retriever?
It was the dog. I don't give a fuck about the dog. It just led up to that. But we start driving. Obviously, we'd been out there like 20 times before. We knew where we were. So we start driving to go home. We passed this farmhouse 3 fucking times. We kept turning to go home and would go by this farmhouse again.
Sounds like you're going around the block, dog.
We weren't.
Sounds like you were. I'm saying it sounds like you were going
It
around the
sounds
block.
like it, dude. But this was the
But I'm
most
saying,
horrific
like-
thing I've ever went
But
through.
do you see what I'm saying? Like you like start hearing, you just go in a circle. It's called a block. I feel
I
like
get that.
Levi. Do you get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying.
I think a block would be a square, but
I don't
Same
think
thing.
a block. I mean,
But for
technically a block's a
example-
square, but
yeah.
that's,
It's like 41
fucked
here
up.
in Springfield. We would take that road to go home. We would turn on the main road and end up back on this road.
I think maybe you took a couple. I think Shade said it right here. Dylan kept making 4 left turns. Did that happen? Do you think?
I wish.
No, I'm saying, is he right?
No.
I'm saying, did you make 4 left turns?
Negative.
All right, let's go live tonight. Levi, what are you doing? Let's go to this cemetery right now. We'll go live there.
You know what I think we need to invest into, boys?
No,
Why
I'm
you change the
As
subject?
we're all broke,
saying right
some
now.
paranormal activity gear. You know what I'm
I've
talking about?
got paranormal activity gear.
Oh, you do.
Yeah.
Load up the truck. We're going.
Are we going right now?
Let's go.
Do we go live there? Yeah. Of course we do. Dilly, you
Fuck
in?
it.
So, Dylan, you're staying the night, right?
Excuse me?
I don't care.
No, I'm pretty sure you'll go to jail for that.
No.
If we go there, though you can't be here, then we can leave. But
Chris,
time out,
what
man.
do you mean is a guy real? There was a ditch on both sides. There's no way a guy's riding a bike across that shit.
I think you was. I think you were in a neighborhood on some psychedelics, and possibly just saw something that.
I didn't even have a single drink in me that night.
How do you know?
That's a lie.
Dylan, repeat what you just said.
I did not have a single drink in me that night.
When's the last time that's happened?
That night.
Wednesday.
This past Wednesday?
Yes.
You didn't have a single drink.
None.
Levi, do you believe it? No, Levi, let's be honest. Do you believe that? I don't believe it.
No.
Sturg. I would like to.
Not at all.
I didn't like it, but it was because I was broke from paychecks.
That's not a good reason.
I didn't. It was not excusable because I did have whiskey at home, but I did not have a single drink
Wait,
Wednesday.
time out. You said you had a whiskey at home?
I
but you
had
don't count
whiskey at
that?
home. I just didn't drink it.
How old was the bike he was on?
So it reminded me of.
That's
Honestly,
actually a good question.
I will
It is.
answer that. It reminded me of bikes.
A Huffy 99.
Older than that. Like it was the bigger wheels.
Did it have a basket?
No. But it did have like the
Build a rack on the back.
no, it had like the kind of curved handlebars on it. Like the big ones.
Yeah.
He said it was a tricycle.
It was not Saw.
Could you imagine?
Never
What would you-
seen-
what- if you
Never
guys saw
seen
in
that
public,
movie.
what would you
I've
guys
never
think?
seen that movie.
You've never seen Saw?
I told you guys I don't
there's
watch
another
that.
one we're
That's the
watching.
next movie we watch.
Yep.
We
Well,
were watching all the Annabelle movies. That was like, I don't believe it, but part of me does.
But still, the thing is, Sturge, going back to Annabelle, kind of. There are so many horror movies made off of Ed and Lorraine Warren.
Yeah, I know.
It's unreal.
It's true. I said we go live at the cemetery right now. You guys gonna be some bitches?
I'm not saying I'm a bitch.
I say you are.
I just don't want to drive.
That's fine.
I
can
said
get
I
us-
would go.
I can get us a ride there. That's
And?
not a problem. Yeah.
I said I'd go.
All right. We're gonna get off here. We're gonna go there right now.
Okay.
Big Sturge,
Justice League.
I'm the producer.
aka Levi. We are,
American whiskey.
and we'll haunt you later.
I don't know about that.